Oh my God, we're at this again. Hello, everybody. We're back.
Third podcast today.
Jesus Christ. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing very well. Like we didn't. It's not like we didn't just do a podcast like 20 minutes ago or so.
Yeah, definitely not. This is our first podcast we've done today.
This is our
In
last
all seriousness. Yes, we promise. We are here once again. But we're not talking about Survivor. We're not talking about the traders. We're talking about the hopefully new reality sensation Deal or No Deal Island. Now, I will be honest. I said this in our sneak peek, and I'll say it again here. I've been kind of hyping up this show in like a meme sense, where it's like, oh my God, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever. Kind of thought it was gonna be like along the lines of like Beyond the Edge or Stars on Mars, but I gotta say, I like what I'm seeing here. I feel like this show is generally well put together. They've taken the concept of Deal or No Deal, but they found their a new way to put their own spin on it and apply it to competitive reality TV in a way that I wasn't really expecting them to do. I really like the cast here. I think there's a lot of potential with this. So yeah, overall, I think this was a really good start. This is generally a very high quality show. You got a good cast here. I think this has potential. What was your expectations going into this, and what did you think overall?
Expectations at first I thought it was just going to be very silly and
Yes.
just a show where let's just podcast just for fun, but honestly,
Yeah.
I'm really liking it so far, and
Me too.
I like the cast, but I mean, some people are a little purpled, but I mean, overall I do
that is the one thing I will say, is that there are some people that I have nothing to say about.
Yeah, I rated it 4 stars, but I gave it a B plus on Serialized, but it's still a very strong premiere.
Who's Miranda? Who's Miranda?
Yeah, Alyssa and Miranda didn't get much, and Nick didn't get much, and things like that. But it's
fine with Nick not getting much. I don't like him from what we've seen.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either, but we'll see. But overall, really the only issue is that just that some people are just kind of purple, we don't know much about, but I mean overall I'm really enjoying it, and it's very entertaining so far.
Yeah, same on my end. I really enjoyed this quite a bit. Now I will say the first few minutes of this episode we're kind of gonna rush through because we already basically talked about it in the sneak preview video that we did. So we're not going to talk too long about that, but we do start off here. We see the host, Joe Manganiello, tells us that in this game, all the guests will need to compete in grueling challenges to find cases in the wild that become values on the board. Each night, players are going to battle the banker for the right to stay. I will ask you right now, what are your first impressions on Joe Manganiello as a host?
Oh my God, I actually really like him so far. He's really funny and just very honestly, he's just a really natural host so far, and I'm enjoying him. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, I liked him. I thought he was solid. I think he's a little stiff at points. It definitely seems like he's still kind of fitting into the role a little bit, but I think he overall seems like he's into it. He finds a way to bring something fun to the show. So yeah, I enjoy him. I think he's pretty good. It's not like other hosts that we've covered where they don't really seem like they want to do it. He seems like he wants to be there, and I think he's doing a pretty good job. Not an amazing job. It's not Alan Cumming level, but he's good. So we first meet Nick, which, talked about it. He's from the Bronx. He's watched Deal or No Deal with his parents, and so he's excited to be here and thinks that it might be tough, but thinks he's up for the challenge. I don't like him. I'll just be straight up. I don't really like him that much. He's kind of annoying. I feel like he's gonna bother me in this show. I'm not really a fan of him. At least we don't have to do
every single note from the beginning, because we already saw that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Nick so far. What do you think?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he just seemed like he's just the normal bro type. I don't really know much about him, but I'm very iffy with him so far, but we'll see.
Yeah, so the next person we meet is on the complete opposite spectrum of that, Claudia, who I fucking love so far. She was a she herself was one of the case holders in the original Deal or No Deal, so she knows a lot about the game inside and out. She thinks that she's like fully prepared for this, and I think she's definitely like one of the people that I feel like are poised to win the game. I think she's going to go really far. I think she's going to do really well here. We talked about it in the cast assessment, but like I feel even better about Claudia from this premiere. I really liked her. So the first real interaction we see is between Aron and Boston Rob. Aron talks to him about being in accounting and not really being an outdoors guy. Boston Rob says he's not really a numbers guy, so we can maybe find a way to help each other. It seems like this is going to be a pretty strong connection, and it is one of the stronger connections going on in the show so far between the two of them. I will say Boston Rob not playing the greatest. We'll get to that a little bit later. But I mean, I think this is a very interesting bond between the two. I feel like Aron can already tell that like it's very much like a give and take kind of thing. Like he doesn't really feel like he is as safe with this as like Boston Rob does. Like it's more like Aron benefits Boston Rob, but Boston Rob doesn't really benefit him. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this whole dynamic plays.
Yeah. I'm honestly like really and I'm intrigued by the Boston Rob and Aron dynamic so far. Like, I mean, maybe they'll like work
Yeah.
together for a little bit, but
Mhm.
maybe like I can see them both cutting each other at a certain point too. But I can
Yeah,
see
the
them at
thing
least I could see them like using each other as shields for now.
Yeah, and Aron, I think absolutely like has the right idea. So I think like he absolutely has the right idea where it's like he has the right idea in the sense where it's like he knows that Boston Rob will backstab him if he doesn't work with him, so he's open to doing it. But he's also recognizing that like I know how Boston Rob plays, I know what he's capable of, so like I feel like he's going to be loyal to a fault, but he's also going to recognize like there's a point I need to turn on him, and I feel like we're going to see that happening. So I'm really impressed by Aron so far. He's definitely
Me too.
one of the
Like I'm
people.
really enjoying him a lot actually.
Yeah,
Like
I feel like he's doing really well. So Joe then introduces them to the game. Every night, one of them is going to play Deal or No Deal against the banker. The money they win won't go into their pocket yet. It will instead go into the final group case, which is an ever-growing prize that only one of them will play for in the finale, in which they could end up with life-changing money that will ultimately end up being 2 million. Which I mean, I like this a lot, actually. I think this is like the perfect way because I was worried this was going to be was it was going to feel like Survivor and Deal or No Deal smashed together, but it really does feel like they found a way to have this fun show, but also incorporate Deal or No Deal. Like Deal or No Deal is basically what they need to do in order to
mhm.
survive, and I think
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
really cool idea. That's really different.
Oh,
That's
I
a
think
cool
it's
way
like
to
really
incorporate
I
it.
think it's like a really like cool touch and like a really fun idea to add to it.
Yeah. So they can't play the
Like
game
they
they
don't even
know
like
and love.
vote each other out. They just have to like
No.
if they like win like against the banker,
I
they just
mean,
pick someone to leave.
yeah, they technically do vote each other out, but they're not like voting each other. They're like selecting somebody to leave, basically. So they can't play the game without the briefcases. We then see all these briefcases drop into the jungle. He tells them that they will be competing in not a challenge, they call it excursions in this show, to retrieve a briefcase. Whoever gets the highest value case will be safe, but the two lowest, however, will be up for elimination against the banker in a game of Deal or No Deal. This game, of course, used to be about winning big money, but on the banker's island, it could also send them home. So for the first test, the banker wants to see who is the biggest gambler, which is why he's included two red mark cases. One contains a low number, the other contains a steal, but they won't know which it will be until they open it, but the banker is always watching. So they then start a mission to retrieve the cases. And I thought this was a really exciting first excursion. I enjoyed this quite a bit. I think we really saw them. It really kind of caused them to have to be strategic, but not too strategic. Like kind of they had to figure out like what is a good case to pick, but not making it seem like I'm doing too much. And I thought this was a very exciting first excursion. What did you think of this?
Oh my gosh. The excursion.
Yeah.
I actually I mean I I actually like that a lot. And it was just like honestly like it was such a cool, like, touch. I don't know. It was, like, really just, like, unique and everything. Like, I was just very impressed by, like, what they actually do in this show. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Um, I
Oh
was
no,
just
I was asking what you thought about like the challenge.
I like that's what I said, that I
Yeah.
actually really liked it a lot, and I thought it was just a fun little touch.
Yeah, it was cool. Um, so they then start a mission to retrieve the cases. Claudia says that this is a really hard challenge, and looking at the group, there's Amy, who's really short, Kim, who's really old, and Aron, who looks like he's never lifted a weight in his life or seen the sun ever. So they have no idea what they signed up for. And Claudia is just like confessional gold already. Like when you cut to Claudia, like you're gonna
Oh
get
my
some good stuff.
gosh.
I love her so far.
I think
Um,
Claudia just gives, she's gonna make it really far. She just gives
no,
that
yeah.
vibe where like, she just gives, like, such queen main character energy.
She really does. She really does. And I mean, she knows the game. Like she has
Oh,
an
yeah, and,
advantage
like
over other people.
mhm.
And we'll see if that
Yeah,
plays any
she
factor.
knows the game because she's been, like, a part of it before, so she definitely
Yeah.
has a lot of insight.
Yeah, we'll see. So we cut to Boston Rob's confessional where basically he talks about how he doesn't, we talked about this in the premiere. He doesn't want to have to do too much. He doesn't want to be too strategic. He doesn't want to put himself out there much. And keep that in mind. He says he doesn't want to do too much. And I feel like that's a little contradictory to what he does a little bit later on, but we'll talk about that. So Kim, who I gotta say, one of the highlights of this show so far. I love Kim so much, not just because like I've talked to her like, I've talked to her like through like Zooms and things like that, when she was in like a community that we were in. And I've interacted with her like on Twitter and stuff, but I just really enjoy her in this show. I feel like she's such a fun personality, and I really feel like she's one of the people that has the potential to go far. I really like Kim so far.
Oh, yeah. Kim
She
is, like,
says that,
she's so entertaining so far.
yeah, she says that at 62 years old, she should be looking at retirement, but unfortunately, her job outsourced, so she lost it. But the biggest thing is she's never given up. We then cut to Aron's confessional about how his dad has Parkinson's and he wants to try to help him out, and that's part of why he wants to win the money. And I said this before, and I'll say it again. The fact that they gave him like a motivation to win really makes me feel like Aron's going to go really far in this game. So after the challenge, everyone has come back with various cases. Joe tells them that the banker will be disappointed that nobody picked a red case and took a gamble. The banker then calls him and makes an offer, and Joe says this personal offer is the first of many that could come back during their stay on the island. The offer is as follows. So for 10K, they're going, whoever is willing to jump in the mud and go for a red case, there are two. The two lowest red cases will be up for elimination, and Joe then asks everyone if they think that they're unsafe, and Kim immediately raises her hand, recognizing that, like, yeah, I struggle in this challenge, so I'm probably not the best, and she asks how long the banker needs for her to get to the case. Kim says that going for the red case was a no-brainer. It's either lose or go home. So and I mean, this was smart of Kim. Like, she definitely was in a bad position here where it's like really struggled in the challenge, probably could have,
Yeah, like,
ended up in the bottom two. So
this was,
this
like,
was
really
really
good
good
for
for her.
her.
Yeah, definitely. I thought this was just in general like a really strong premiere for Kim. So Dawson is really hoping she doesn't have a steal because he has the $1 million case. So Brantzen wants to help Kim, knowing that she won't survive if she went back in. He wants to give her the 10K, and this proves to be a really bad move for Brantzen. Like, here's the thing. I get what he was doing. He was trying to help her out, but like when he didn't raise his hand initially and he just goes off to help her, it looks shady. It looks like you're just doing this because you actually wanted the $1 million all for yourself and you were going to take it. Like this was really bad for Brantzen. Like he constantly tried to justify it in this episode, but I just feel like any way you slice it, this was a bad move.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Ugh.
So not great. All right. So unfortunately, everyone sees this as bad intentions on his end, that he's purposefully messing up the team and could backstab any of them. And yeah, exactly. That's why it's a terrible move. He notices that
It's not a
everyone
good
is
move at
panicked
all.
because he notices that everyone is panicked because he has the potential to steal and don't realize he has no intention of getting the case for himself. Kim says for her, everything is manipulation. She's going to run circles around these days may be thought as a villain, but she will owe it to take advantage and win it. And I'm here for that. I am here for Kim being a villain. So she then comes back and is told that she has earned the 10K, but she has discarded her silver case for a red case, which is either a steal or a low value. Of course, we know from the sneak peek, it is in fact a steal. She's now in control of the game, and she does make this deal where she basically says that whoever has the $1 million case, she will not put any of them to go up against the banker. They all agree it's a really good deal, and we finally find out who has the case. It's Dawson who admits that he has the $1 million case, and Joe then tells her that the case is now hers. And I like that they hid that in the sneak peek. I thought they did that well. But Kim says that she's a huge reality show junkie. She's had years of studying the banker. He wants to see who's willing to take the risk and said they underestimate her. They are going to regret it. So Dawson says that Kim is smart. She's a smart player. He thought that he had better odds playing the honest route, and he doesn't have to go against the banker. And then we finally cut to stuff that we haven't seen before. So Allie, go ahead.
All right, so it's then time to reveal who will be joining him in the bottom two. Amy has 475K. Stephanie has 500K, which Boston Rob notices and says she is a liar that lies for the sake of it, and he doesn't trust her.
Yeah, and we talked about in the assessment that, like, we thought that Stephanie was going to be, like, his rival, and this confirms, she's his rival. She's absolutely the person he wants to go for.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's,
I'm
I
just
don't
so
think it's
here
going to
for
work.
it, though.
I really don't think it's going to work out, but we'll see.
Brantzen's case is 400K. Alyssa has 75K, 750K. Miranda has 200K, and is currently holding the lowest case. So her and Dawson are in the bottom. Yeah. And
again,
Claudia
who's Miranda?
Claudia has 250K. Aron has 150K, which means he is now in the bottom two with Dawson. Jamil has 300K. Boston Rob has 300K or whatever, whatever, 3,000.
3,000.
3,000, yeah. And then Nick has 225K, and the last person to go is Jordan, who has 175K, just squeaking through despite now being the third lowest.
Yeah.
Kim has now secured the most valuable briefcase going into Deal or No Deal. Aron and Dawson are in the bottom, which means Kim will get to choose one of them to be up for elimination in a game of Deal or No Deal against the banker. The player selected is playing a classic game of Deal or No Deal, but it isn't exactly the game they're used to.
Yeah, this is where things get exciting.
Oh, it's so cool. Rule on the Banker's Island, this game is the ultimate example of high risk, high reward. However, the banker has a new rule, which is that they have to make a good deal if they do this. They can stay in the game and they get to choose who will be eliminated, but if they make a bad deal by accepting an offer that is lower than what it is in their selected case, and they will be heading home, so nobody is safe except for Kim, and she will have to think very carefully for who she'll be putting up.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really exciting twist, I think. It finds a way to, again, implement Deal or No Deal, but still have that strategy element to it. It forces you to make, like, connections and things like that. So it completely divorces itself from the game that we know. And that's when you know it's working, is when you found a way to do something different. And I think they did that very well here.
Oh yeah, I think it's like a really cool and like unique thing to do. Like it's just like it's still like Deal or No Deal, but very different. Boston Rob says Aron is one guy that's willing to work with him that he feels good about, but if he doesn't get through, he knows he will have to focus more on the relationships and things he can't control. Aron says he feels like a superhero in a comic book story. He lost the challenge, he has his back against the wall, and this might sound like a downfall. But it's the start of the rise of him. They then all walk to their sleeping quarters. Amy is expecting there will be sleeping bags, bug spray, and a tent. Like, oh yeah, who's Amy?
Yeah, literally.
However, when they go around the corner, they are treated to luxurious tents with showers, proper bedding, and towels. They also have a cafe in which they are feeding them.
So this is not at all like Survivor. Like, this is way more luxurious.
Yeah, they actually have like beds and like food and stuff.
The shower especially is like crazy. The way they were able to implement that, and literally outside too.
Nick compares it to being at a 5-star resort. Boston Rob says this is like a vacation for him and he could stay here forever. Stephanie talks to Kim and says she has a tough decision to make, and Kim says she will be sticking true to her word, but that means it has to be Aron. Stephanie agrees her word is very important at this stage of the game, and people want to see how trustworthy she is. Kim says they're in the first round of the game, and she needs to build that trust and social equity because she doesn't have the physical prowess to get in there and win the excursions. And then there's a bro talk, which, great. Dawson, Jamil, and Nick talk to Brantzen, and Dawson asks him why he went for the case and didn't take it, and Dawson asks if he was doing it to trust someone, and Brantzen gets extremely defensive, saying he saw that Kim had the lowest case, and she was so defeated, and he knew he was safe, but he didn't think she was going to make it, and Nick says it was a bold move, because Aron already has the lowest, anyway, so it would have been her and Aron, but now it's just him.
Yeah, and I mean, we already... Oh, go ahead.
Oh. And he apologizes, and Dawson tells him it's no need because he got screwed over, but it's fine.
Yeah, and we already kind of knew that, like, Brantzen was in a bad spot, but he literally makes things so much worse for himself. I have generally not seen a player this bafflingly terrible at a game in a very long time. Like, every choice he makes this round is the wrong one. I don't think there's a single thing he does right. And I know he's only the first boot and you got to come some slack, but like, I generally have not seen a first boot play this badly in like a very long time. This was terrible. Like, everything he did was just so bad here. I don't think there's a single move that I'm like, oh, that's the way you go about it. Like, especially whenever he's talked to, his voice just gets all loud like this, and he starts getting all defensive. It's like, dude, you're obviously trying to defend yourself here. Like, this does not feel genuine at all. Like, it was so bad for him. I don't think what happened to Brantzen needed to happen in this episode, but he makes every opportunity to make sure that it does. It was just so bad.
Like, he seems like a nice guy. He's just like, he is not a good player already.
Yeah. Probably one of the worst I've seen in a while.
Brantzen says he helps somebody, but now because of that, Aron is going to play Deal or No Deal, and if he has a good deal, he sends one of them home, and he could have screwed himself. Yep. They then each go around and introduce themselves. Stephanie says she's a nurse midwife, delivering hundreds of babies. Alyssa says she's a princess at a theme park where she is paid nothing. Jamil says he has 3 kids, Soleil and Simone are his daughters, and then young Sean is his son. Miranda introduces herself and says she's a pest control technician in which she kills rodents, roaches, and spiders. Brantzen jokes that he's glad she's in their tent.
That's like the only good thing he says all episode.
I will say, he does have some funny like one-liners, yes, in this like part.
No, he does, but it's not enough.
Yeah. Boston Rob says he hates this part of the game where everyone shares because he knows it's all nonsense. He doesn't want to give away any unnecessary information if he doesn't have to because he knows it'll just put a target on him. So he just watches and sees what he can learn. Rule number 1 in the Boston Rob book is pay attention. Honestly, he's so real.
Oh, yeah. Because he's right. Like, all the formalities, like, it means nothing. Like, it's all like, you know, it's just something you do to pass the time. Like, nobody actually cares about this part.
Claudia, Aron says he just has the one A, like the Pokemon with the Aron, and that's him. Claudia says she is an Aries and has no kids despite being a 50. She also takes this time to admit to them she was a case girl on the original show and that this is kind of a bucket list thing with her, always wanting to be on Deal or No Deal.
Yeah, I didn't think she would reveal it that fast, but she does it immediately. And honestly, I think kind of fine. I think it was good that she revealed this immediately, get out of the way, not have people speculate about it. I think it was fine that she just like out in the open said, "Yeah, I'm a case girl. I've been on this show before. Like people don't have to, think anything of it."
Claudia says she at first thought it would be a negative to tell people she was a deal or no deal model, but she does have some expertise at the game, and if that helps keep the pop bigger, it could be an asset.
Yeah, do you think it was good that like she told people like early on?
I mean, it didn't seem like people were really like weary of her, but we'll see. I mean, like it
Unless you're
definitely
Amy.
I mean, yeah, besides Amy, but like I feel like in some ways people are going to actually think it's like good that she has a lot of
Yeah.
insight, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Like I mean, I'm hoping she does well cuz I mean, she does give
Yeah,
that vibe that she's going to go far.
right. We'll see.
Amy says that she thinks the people that should be targets are the ones that already made it, and the average Joes like herself should not. She's not here for fame or to start a modeling career. She lives a better life than paycheck to paycheck, but she needs the money.
So yeah, so Amy's like, anyone who's played this, like, get out of here. Give the newbies a chance. And that is the vibe of you're going home early. Like if she's gonna try to do that.
Yeah. Kim tells everyone her first and last name and says she's 62, but she'll be 63 in December. She tells them she loves watching competitive reality TV, Top Chef, Big Brother, Survivor, The Amazing Race. Brantzen jokes she knows all of Rob's weaknesses, which she says she knew who he was immediately. Some of them are
Yeah,
shook
this
about
was
him.
bad.
Yeah, this is not good for Rob. Oh my god. If I was Rob, I'd be so annoyed here.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, some of them are shook about him being on Survivor and also winning. Kim tells him he's a very talented player, both as an ally and as a competitor, so they should know that from the start. They then ask him a bunch of questions about his season of Survivor.
This very much gave the vibe of like Corey and Big Brother 25, like constantly questioning Sari about her being in the game and like her experience and things like that. It's like I don't want to talk about this. Like let's focus on me being just the person that I am. Let's take the survivor out of the equation. Like this was horrible. I could not believe that they were doing this literally right in front of him. Like, my God, I can't imagine how infuriating this must have been for him. This was crazy.
I'm just like, oh my god, really? It's like,
Yeah, I mean, Kim really is
it was so
solidifying herself as
frustrating
a
to watch.
villain here, like literally saying like, "Oh, he's won the game" and things like that. Like this was insane. Because like there were generally, I don't know like if you noticed in the scene, like there were generally people who didn't know that he did play Survivor, and now they do, and it's like fuck, like this is not great.
Not at all. Branson says he recognizes Boston Rob immediately, and he knows he has a target on his back. Why not point it at somebody who is already successful, especially in competitions like this? If they don't get him out in the beginning, he will go all the way.
Sure, definitely go for
Um,
the person that is like the biggest
sure,
target. That's a great
like
idea.
sure, why not? If you say so.
Yeah.
Boston Rob says because of Branson, he's got Kim telling everybody how good he is at everything, and the little poker dude is a snake. But why is this old lady exposing his past? She can't fool him, and she's probably the most dangerous player in the game.
Yeah, so he's the person who like really recognizes like the way that Kim is playing, but I think it's only him so far. I think everyone else sees Kim as like an asset, and I feel like sees her as like who she really is. So definitely interesting to see.
Very. Jordan says he has 100 and thousands of dollars if he wanted a vacation, go with his family. Why choose this if he wanted to win? And she says if it were her, he would be the first one to go.
Yeah,
Uh,
Jordan's like
because of
wanting
this,
him out of there.
Rob is not in a good spot.
No, he really is not. And I'm honestly kind of surprised. I really thought that he was going to come out here and be somebody that like people just like latch onto him. They feel like I thought it was gonna be like Aron where like they know how he plays, but like they don't really care. But like no, these people care. They want him out of here. And I don't feel like he's going very far because of it, especially with how he plays later on in the episode. I don't think we're going to see Boston Rob that long in this show, but we'll see. So the next day, they all wake up. Jamil talks about how tonight will be the first elimination on the island. He wants to see Aron have a good deal and eliminate somebody. They don't 100% know what will happen, but what excited him the most today is who will do something dumb, which, I mean, a lot of people do dumb things here. So Aron is talking to Jordan where she tells him that they're never fully safe, which he agrees, except when they have immunity. She tells him that the week after they're definitely not safe because they choose them. Aron says that they got to start somewhere. So Brantzen says that Aron went from being the bottom two to the only potential person to face the banker. He's going to look to see who put him there and knew it was him. He wants to do some damage control in an effort to make sure he isn't the one sent home. And he does something that on paper is good. He pulls Aron aside. And I was like, okay, this is good. Brantzen's not going to go. He's going to strike up a conversation with Aron. Like, they're going to have a good conversation here. Brantzen could not have made himself look any more like cagey and suspicious and like, you know, someone to worry about than he did here. Like this was literally the worst type of conversation you could have had with him.
Terrible.
Because he literally just asked him, hey, has anyone talked to you? Has anyone said my name? And Aron's like, I mean, yeah, it's been brought up and people are afraid of that poker element. And Brantzen says, if he agrees to not pick him right now, in the next 3 rounds, remember, the next 3 rounds, he won't hurt him in any capacity. Brantzen says he wants him to look at him and ask if he's telling the truth. And Aron just goes silent here. Aron's like, what the hell are you saying to me? Because, like, yes, you want to offer somebody safety, but literally just 3 rounds? Are you kidding me? Like, what happens after the 3 rounds? That's the thing. Like, you can't make a deal like that because if you, like, what are you going to do after those 3 rounds? Are you just going to protect him then? And then you're going to go for him? Like, if I'm Aron here, like, I absolutely want to get rid of you because
if
you
I was
literally
Aron, I'd be like, yeah, he's got to go like right now because
yeah,
like
because I mean, he literally said only 3 rounds. Like, it's so bad.
Oh my god, he's just so frustrating.
Yeah, so Brantzen says after this conversation with Aron, he feels like he has a good deal. He doesn't think it's 100% going to be him because there's a part of him that wants him to stay. They saw each other's hearts and he's a true bro. And I'm like, what conversation did you have with him? Because the one that I saw was embarrassingly bad. Like, I don't know what he's talking about here. So while all this is going on, we see Dawson, Nick, and Jamil. They're bonding. They're joking about Brantzen, pitching to them. This is the only thing I am not excited for. I really think we are going to see like a bro alliance between these 3, and I'm not here for it, especially like Nick and Dawson, those 2 together, I'm really not a fan of. I feel like they're really going to annoy me. I am not a fan of this alliance whatsoever. I hope it's not a thing, but it seems like they do a lot of like, you know, they do a lot of buddying in this episode. So I really worry that those 3 are going to become like a powerful force. But what do you think?
I can definitely see that for sure. So who are you talking about? Sorry, I was just looking at something.
Oh, I said, well, I talked about Dawson, Nick, and Jamil and how like I'm really worried that like they're gonna become like a strong
group. Sorry. I mean, yeah, I definitely see those 3 working together for sure. But like, I mean, I like Jamil so far. He seems nice, but the other 2, I'm just like, why does he have to work with the men? But I mean, I can see it happening because they're already growing it up, but we'll see.
Yeah. I really hope not, because I don't want to see that. But Kim says to Alyssa and Jordan that Joe is hot, and Alyssa says that he's not her type. Quick side note, I mentioned in a cast assessment that Alyssa and Dawson are going to be in a showmance. That is very much not going to happen. Both of them are very much gay, and we are here for it. So, yeah,
Yes.
they're probably going to bond, but showmance not happening. Dawson has a boyfriend, Alyssa has a girlfriend, so not happening. So Boston Rob talks. I just wanted to clear that up because I did see a comment on the last episode jokingly saying like, yeah, that's not happening. So wanted to just make a note of that. So, all right. Boston Rob talks to Aron, says they need to think about their best play forward, and public enemy number one is Brantzen. Aron agrees since he only told him he'd keep him safe for 3 weeks, which Boston Rob says is insane since his life is on the line and he only offers 3 weeks. Aron says he doesn't even feel safe with him for 1 week, never mind 3. And I agree with him. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, like I don't know. I don't know what the hell is really like going. I don't know what Brantzen was offering him. Like it doesn't make any sense. It really just does not make any
Brantzen's game is
sense.
just like he's literally just like this is not the game for him. Like he seems like a nice, chill guy. You know, like just very kind, very like he wants to do it for his wife and daughter, but like he's just yeah, he's just very like very confusing player.
Yeah, definitely. So basically Boston Rob talks to very, very confusing all around, just really bad. So Miranda jokes with Aron to take his shirt off while they all go swimming, which Claudia says he's probably exhausted since he hasn't really had a moment to himself since he got power. Boston Rob says probably nobody has said a word to him like 2 days before. Boston Rob says that all these girls, Stephanie especially, feels safe. She's very slick and smart, and he gives her credit, but he knows she wants nothing to do with him, and she's from Boston, so he can read her like a book, and she's going to be very dangerous. And yeah, I mean, he's absolutely right here. Like Stephanie definitely is on him. There's a lot of people that's on him, but I don't think Boston Rob handles this in the way that he really should. I think this wasn't great. So Boston Rob says that all of these girls, Stephanie, especially. Oh, I just read that. So in the water with everyone, Claudia asks Brantzen if he regrets what he did. He says he helped Kim. She asked if he was shocked when she opened it and it was a steal. He says he was, and she jokingly says that he's acting right now. Jamil says that he would love it, and Brantzen is shocked. He saw her eyes. She was in tears. Wasn't going to make it to the end. He's a person of integrity. If he wins this, he wants it to be because he was trying his best, and if he fails, at least he made his daughter proud. Claudia says that he must not watch much reality TV. Brantzen doesn't really understand why everyone thinks his word means nothing, and Jamil says that he will agree with him on that. And so yeah, again, just really not great for Brantzen. Really handles himself badly here. They're very much because again, this is the thing with Brantzen. Like he needed to recognize that like they see it as shady, and he might not see it that way, and he's constantly trying to justify it, and they're just not here for it. Like this is the way that they see it, and he needed to just not keep bringing it up, but he keeps bringing it up, and it just puts a bigger target on himself. So again, just really awful. I'm so baffled by the way that he played. I can't believe he handled it the way that he did. But Claudia gives.
Too. It's just like no.
Yeah, I was face palming as well. But Claudia gives the best confessional of the entire episode here. She says, now that Brantzen puts a target on his back, she sees him going up to everybody that he's doing this for his daughter and wife. And here he is sacrificing his game for another woman. She says, if he was his wife, she'd cuss his ass out. How dare he go out to the mud for this old lady when he probably doesn't even take out the trash back at the crib. And I mean, this is just such a great moment. Just this tells me Claudia is going to be just absolute gold on this show, and I just really hope that she survives. So that she survives for a long time, because I'm just loving her so much. This was great. So Boston Rob says that Brantzen is making a classic mistake, and that is when you make a mistake, stop apologizing for it, which I agree with that. What I don't agree with is this next part where he says everyone wants him out, so the fact they all want him out, that might be better to get rid of someone else, since they all want to get rid of him again next week, so that buys him more time. And he then talks to Aron about how they want Brantzen out, and it may be a bad idea, but also suggests that they really want him out, so they could just take out Stephanie and not let them see it. He tells him that he doesn't want to get blood on his hands because he knows that she's liked. And Boston Rob says it might be a little bit of blood, but it's still his decision. Also, he spares this idiot and they get him in their pocket, and he tells him to think about it. And I mean, this was really bad. Like, I don't know what Boston Rob was like. I get it that he wants Stephanie out, but Aron has never brought up Stephanie's name as a possibility. He said that he wanted Brantzen out. Like, just let him do it. Like, it's early enough in the game to where this doesn't really make sense. Like, if he wanted Stephanie out, he needed to tell her that. He needed to tell him that initially and not just try to do it now, because again, it doesn't feel like he's doing it for Aron. It feels like he wants Aron to do his bidding, and this is really bad. And Aron's a smart enough player to where he already recognizes it. He literally says that, like, he is shell shocked. He doesn't understand why he'd even flip a coin on this, because he's not only getting rid of someone who's an opponent to him, but also getting rid of someone who could be an ally to him, and questions if he's really with him and is an ally. He doesn't know if he's in it with him for real, but thinks he's playing him. He's a guy. He's willing to do whatever it takes to win, and it comes down to it. He may have to eliminate him instead. So, yeah, really not great for Boston Rob. I don't know
Not
if he
at
can
all.
recover from this. I hope he can, but this was not a good move.
No, it wasn't really good at all. Ugh.
No.
Feel bad.
I mean, I don't.
I mean-
I don't feel bad, because like, he knows how to play these games, and it's like he should have recognized to not do something like that. Like, it was just it's the definition of just playing hard way too fast. Like, if you want Stephanie out, you got to find the right time to do it, and this was not that time. Everybody wanted Brantzen out. Just go with that and get Stephanie out later. Like, I don't understand what this was, why he was trying to do this. So, and he loses Aron here. Like, Aron has significantly less trust in Boston Rob now because of this. So, yeah, really bad. But with that said, let's get to the game of Deal or No Deal here.
Okay. Wait, I'm trying to find where we are on the notes. It's like keeps on messing up.
That's the Deal or No Deal game elimination.
Okay. For like who's joining the bottom two part? Okay. Found it. Okay, it's then time to reveal who will be joining him in the bottom two. Amy has 475K, Stephanie has 500K, which Boston Rob notices and says she is a liar and thought for the sake. Oh, wait, I think I already read that, didn't I? Did I read this part already? Oh, wait.
No, you didn't.
Oh, wait, yeah,
No.
sorry. I scrolled up by mistake.
Yeah, we're at the Deal or No Deal game.
Sorry, I totally messed up. Aron says it's been an emotional couple days, and honestly, tonight is what he needs to get his head back in the game. Aron says it's been an emotional couple of days, but honestly, tonight is what he needs to get his head back in the game. He's in the bottom two, which means he's at risk to be the first ever person to play a new game. He doesn't think there's anybody better and more statistically sound than him. Accountants know the numbers. He knows the odds. He wants to build up the final case and hopefully take the shot at someone that needs to be out of the game. Joe welcomes everyone to the Banker's Temple. Aspirations are shattered there, and destinies are gambled, and they all bow down to the whims of chance. In a moment, one of them will be selected to put their game on the line by facing the Banker in Deal or No Deal. Kim secured the highest value case worth $1 million. Kim then comes over and chooses who will be playing Deal or No Deal between Aron and Dawson. And she says she is a person of her word, so it is going to be Aron going against the Banker.
Yeah, which, I mean, this was good for Kim. She made it clear to Dawson, like, I'm not going to pick you, and she stuck to that. So, like I said, I think generally just a really good premiere for Kim all around. I think she's in a really good spot after this.
Aron is playing to add money to the group's final case of a prize that grows every game up until the finale, and if played well, could become the biggest payout in game show history. And Joe asks him what he would do with the money. And Aron talks about how his parents refinanced their house more than once to get him to college and school that would pay off the house. Joe says the Banker has chosen 20 cases for him to open. Inside each one is a different case amount. Since Kim brought back the $1 million case in today's excursion, it is the first to go on the board. The most valuable cases that the rest of the guests achieved is also there as well, and as the Banker's low values. They will start at a penny and go all the way up to 1 million. The goal is to beat the banker to stay in the game. During the game, the banker will try to take their case if they sell their case for what it's worth. They made a good deal. If they make a bad deal, they stay in the game and get to choose who will be eliminated. However, if they make a bad deal that is lower than what's in their case, it will be them that's eliminated tonight. So Aron's first choice is 10. When they open it, he's told he has to open 8 cases in round 1. So after successfully choosing 10 cases, he ends up losing over 2 million in case values in the first round alone, but he's managed to keep Kim's million on the board, so the banker's first offer is 45,000, which Aron says no deal, feeling like his number is lower than that.
Yeah,
Rob said go ahead.
I was gonna say good move on his part for sure. Like I think Aron plays this game very well.
Oh, I think so too. He plays he's very strategic.
Yeah.
Rob says he likes Aron a lot, and if he actually oh my god, I keep messing up. I was trying to get rid of a Snapchat notification, but I went up. Rob says he likes Aron a lot, and if he actually has his back, which he thinks he does, then the only scenario that works for him is if Aron makes a good deal, because without him, he's there by himself.
Yep.
Aron says he watched a good amount of Deal or No Deal growing up. His parents always told him to take the deal, whatever it is, but that money is not his money unless he wins. So what's more important is surviving the day?
Yeah, and I mean that's the case. Like when you're playing regular Deal or No Deal, like yeah, take the money. Like, but with this, it's like okay, it's not actually my money, so I just need to do what I can to make sure like I have the winning case. Like that's literally all you want to do here.
Mm-hmm. Round 2 starts, and he ends up being much more successful this time around, getting several numbers off the board with the help of some of his cast members. By the end of the round, he has lost the $1 million case and lost all but 3 of the highest cases in play. The next offer from the banker happens and is wondering what his client list is like, and Aron says generally they don't ask him to have an X-ray vision, so he feels this is a valid mistake to make.
Yeah, definitely.
The next offer from the banker happens and is wondering what his client list is like, and Aron says generally they don't ask him to have X-ray vision, so he feels like this is a valid mistake to make. Despite losing the highest case in the game, his offer has gone up to 107K, and they all tell him he shouldn't take the deal, and Aron agrees there's much higher cases still on the board with only 2 left to open. Brantzen says he knows he has a target on his back. It's either Aron, Boston, Rob, or himself. He can see the panic in his eyes, but he wants to last. He wants to be here, so he hopes he makes a bad deal. And then he does not take the deal, obviously. But he thinks about it, obviously, first. But he decides not to take it.
Yep.
Round 3 begins, and he's able to get the 25 off the board. They then receive another offer from the banker, in which he's told the banker is tired and wants to retire his yacht, and he now wants to offer him 266K. He's unsure, and Claudia does assure him he has a safety net if he goes one more, and Aron does indeed decide not to take the deal. With 1 case left to open, he ultimately picks case number 8, which does indeed have the lowest amount of 75. The last offer from the banker comes around, which ends up being 445K, straight to the final case that one of them will be playing in the finale. He asks the cast, and they think it should be no deal, and Aron says for his personal game, it's a 50-50 shot either way if he takes the deal. They can either lose out on 445k or gain 400k ultimately. He decides to once again not take it, which means there are only 2 left in the game, with either 400 or 600k. If he has the higher amount in the case, he will beat the banker, have made a good deal, and stay in the game. Aron says
Yeah, and this is the one I thought he was going to take. I thought he was going to just take this deal and then it'd be over, but we'll talk about what actually happens.
Yeah, this one, oh my god, me too. I was like, is he just going to take
it? Yeah.
Aron says this game could mean everything to him because the amount of money could be life-changing. So it's nerve-wracking if he can make a good deal, if he votes someone out, but if he makes a bad one, he goes home. So the stakes are so high because he wants to be the one at the end.
Yeah, and again, this is what's so exciting about the show. It's not so much about it's not so much about like getting the most money. It's mostly about just like winning deal or no deal. But then there's also the factor of like there's these other offers and things like that. Like it's gonna be exciting to see how people play because I don't think they're gonna be doing it as strategically as Aron did every time. I think there's gonna be some people who just like take the banker's offers regardless. Like I'm excited to see how this plays out.
Me too. I'm so hyped. So Aron says this game could mean everything to him because this amount of money could be.
Oh, you just read that.
So it's nerve-wracking if he can make a good deal, if he votes someone out. No, not this part. But if he makes about... Oh, okay. Aron then opens his case, which is the 600k. One meaning he has successfully beaten the banker, added to their final case, and made a good deal, therefore surviving in the game. He now must choose who leaves the game tonight, aside from Kim, who is immune from elimination. Aron says they're all great competitors, and that's what makes it so hard. And he wishes there was someone that was mean and a villain to make this way easier to just choose that person. Brantzen says he doesn't want to go home, so if he ends up choosing him,
he wins the game, and I think we knew what was.
Yeah.
Oh, I just said like he wins the game, and we probably know what's gonna happen here.
Brantzen says he doesn't want to go home, so if he ends up choosing him, he'd be devastated. Boston Rob says it's definitely better for his game than it is for Aron to get rid of Stephanie, but as long as he doesn't get rid of him, he's okay with it. So he ultimately just chooses Brantzen to leave because he's a great competitor. Brantzen says each of them are beautiful people, and he was never going to pick the red case. He just wanted to do something that his daughter and wife are proud of, and that's all he can say. They all give him a hug, and Claudia jokingly says to him he will get to the World Series of Poker and win 10 million there.
I don't know about him being a great competitor, but yeah, he definitely made the right choice.
Oh, yeah, because Brantzen was just playing so terribly the whole time.
Well, he also was like, literally told him I'd only give you 3 weeks.
It was just like, really? Like, why just 3? Come on.
Yeah.
Brantzen gives a little retrospective saying the banker was looking for a gambler and he's a poker player, but this time it didn't work out. Aron says it's funny with Boston Rob. He feels like he's signing like a deal with the devil, but if he has to sign a contract in blood to win the game, he'll do it.
Yeah, this really makes me think that Aron recognizes that like he needs to work with Boston Rob for a bit, but I think the second someone turns on him, like Aron will be fully behind it because he really I think Boston Rob really showed his true colors here. But yeah, all around I think a really strong premiere. There's a lot of interesting arcs that were set up here. This rivalry between Boston Rob and Stephanie, I'm really excited to see play out, especially because I don't think he's gonna win it. I think Stephanie is going to end up getting him in the end, and I think he's it's really not going to work for him. Kim is somebody else he's like suspicious of, but I think Kim is like honestly in a really good spot now. I think what she did here helped her a lot, and I think it's going to be really hard to get her out. So we'll see what happens there. But I mean, the great thing about this game is that things can change in an instance because all it takes is for someone to win deal or no deal, and then they can just take that person out. So like if Boston Rob gets the lowest case, goes into deal or no deal, he can take out whoever he wants, and that changes everything. But vice versa on Stephanie or Kim's end. Yeah. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how this really plays out.
I do think Aron definitely made the right choice there. But yeah, it's definitely, I'm very excited to see how it plays out.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely am excited to see how this all goes down. I think there's a lot of potential here. Like I said, I think the way they implemented the Deal or No Deal game is very different from what I expected, but I really like it quite a bit. I think it's very creative. I think it's a good way to take something that worked, put your own spin on it, and do something really exciting. And I think that's exactly what they're doing here. So yeah, overall, I'm a fan of this. I think, like I said, my only real issues right now, there are some people I just don't know anything about. I know it's only episode 1, but like, who's Miranda? Who's Amy? Who's Alyssa? I don't know who they are. I know who this Alyssa is, but I don't know who the Alyssa on the show is. So I can't really say
I
much
know.
about that.
But yeah, I agree with that too. Like, I echo you there that like, I just hope we get more from other people, and not just like a very quick like confessional or what scene, whatever. But like,
I think my only worry is I hope the Deal or No Deal game isn't just like everybody plays it strategically and no one takes the offers from the banker and they just vote people out. I'm hoping we see someone like really like just like flop and like take the offers and like get too distracted by that, because I don't want to see everyone play the game like Aron did every single time, because it is going to get very predictable if that happens. It's like, okay, we know who this person wants out, they're going to go. Like, I want to see some unpredictability, and I hope that ends up happening. I can see the potential for this concept to get very boring and predictable, but right now I'm liking it. I think it's fun. I think we got a good cast here. I'm hoping that this ends up being really good. So I like what I've seen so far.
yeah.
But
like, as of right now, it's definitely B+, but like, hopefully it can get up to an A. We'll see.
Well, I don't really care so much about the grade. It's more so just like how it delivers. A grade's a grade in my opinion.
Same.
But
I just hope it's like a really good season overall and not like a Stars on Mars.
Oh yeah, no, hopefully not a Beyond the Edge either, which I don't think it's gonna be.
Oh god,
This is already way more. This is filmed like there's so much more thought put into this than both of those shows, so I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. Anyway, before we do close this out, we are going to give some anything else you want to say about the show before we move on to like plugging stuff?
I mean, so far it's off to a strong and unique start, but obviously hope we get more from certain people, but overall I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so things to plug: Survivor 46 starting up tomorrow. Very excited to see how it ends up going down. I think there's a lot of potential with this cast. We just did the cast assessment, and I think it's gonna be a really fun season. I can't wait to see how it all goes down. Like I said, a lot of big, fiery personalities, it seems like, and I feel like it's going to be really fun. So 2 hour, 90-minute episodes, good stuff. I'm very excited to see how that all goes down. As well as, we're still doing our coverage of the Traders US season 2. It's been a fantastic season. Can't wait to see how it wraps up. It's just been delivering on like literally the highest level possible. So I can't wait to see how it all goes down.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this week's episode. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so good. And then I will plug it again. BBKN 12. As of right now, probably not gonna be talking about it much on this channel. We'll probably do a cast assessment and then just a season. If miraculously they announce that there's gonna be feeds, cool. But I really just don't think it's gonna happen. I think the jury's kind of out on that one. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. I hope I'm wrong, but right now, that's probably what we're doing. It really just sucks because, like, I thought after last season they would have recognized that, like, feeds are important, feeds are vital to the show's success, but it doesn't seem like they seem to care much about that. So we will not be covering that weekly. We'll be covering it as the season's over.
And also, like, if they don't have feeds either, like, it just seems like Alyssa has like no control, which is sad.
Yeah, it definitely is, because she's always like been really excited, and it just is kind of disheartening that she doesn't have much power. But that's a whole other discussion. Either way, very excited to talk about these other shows weekly that are delivering in the way that we want them to. Also, look forward on my channel. We will be doing a video about the SAG Awards. The Oscars are rapidly approaching. This is like the last like benchmark award show before we get to the Oscars, and so I'm very excited to talk about all of that. But other than that, guys, for this video, hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you thought of this first episode overall. Where do you think the show is headed? And remember, couples who podcast together stay together. We will see you guys later.
Have a good night, guys.